All right, guys, welcome to Tour Talk, presented by Click On Media. I'm your host, Mike Murphy, and I got Chad Catcherbo with me. Chad, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, no problem, Mike.
We got a lot to talk about today, but the first point of discussion is the turbulent summer that was experienced by Tiger Woods. The biggest, most pressing story in golf right now is what's going to happen to Tiger Woods. Chad, I want to get your thoughts on that.
So with Tiger, it's been a long time coming, and you know, we kind of saw it from the very early stages in his career, with that elongated swing, and everyone thought that was going to be a problem going forward, and it just seemed to be, you know, slowly coming together, and his back just gave out, and you know, it's a tough injury to recover from for any athlete, and all the stress that he puts into his life, it's going to be hard for him to overcome, especially at this late of an age.
You know what the thing is too, this is why I took away from Tiger his last press conference where he said that I don't think, he said he does not think that he's going to be able to play anymore. And I don't think he's been able to play for years now. It's better for golf that he just doesn't play, that he just doesn't try to come back. It's better for golf that he becomes this wily old man, grungy looking old man, like kind of like a Butch Harmon, where he doesn't play anymore. I think that's exactly what he needs to do, is just not play anymore. He needs to be a coach now, just like he was for the President's Cup. The players love it. He brings them over to his house, and he putts with Ricky Fowler and Justin Thomas and all that stuff. So I think that that's what he needs to do from now on, is just keep on being a coach, being a mentor to these young kids. That's what he needs to focus his life on. It's going to make a media frenzy. It's going to be a debacle, essentially, if Tiger tries to come back again. Which brings me to my next point, which would be Tiger was the coach for one of the assistant coaches for the President's Cup. The President's Cup itself is an absolute debacle in its own right. I mean, it's awful. I mean, they can't even call it an exhibition anymore. You have to call it an execution, because literally the U.S. strangleholded the international team for 4 days straight. I mean, it was actually kind of sad to watch towards the end. Chad, I'm shocked that this is even still a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. We get a little bit better competition, well, a lot better competition with the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because Europe is allowed to play in that one. Obviously, with the President's Cup, Europe is not involved in any way. So, I mean, it's tough. Format changes, I don't know what else we could do besides, make it more of just a match play and see what we can do there. Because, the U.S., they have a lot of great players, but they also have players like Patty Reed, who just loves the environment of the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup, and he always seems to play well. So, maybe make it into a match play where players like Patty Reed, they don't play as well. Because we see them week to week, and when do you really see Patrick Reed in the running of a tournament? I mean, it's not very often that we see that, but he always comes to play for these big events like the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup. So, I mean, there's not much you can do because it's just that we're just that much better than the international team in that sense, but there could be the changes made. We just need to focus on what could be made.
You know what? The thing I was thinking of too is make it 2 days long. If anything, if you want to really keep the President's Cup, make it 2 days long. Maybe have, and I saw someone actually say this the other day. Make there a wild card. Make 2 wild card spots for a guy like Rory McIlroy and so like Henrik Stenson essentially. Right. Make a 2 wild card spot for those guys to get in from Team Europe, so that it's a little bit more of a competition. That's what I'd like to see. It's just a little bit more of a competition if you're gonna keep it going. If not, just get rid of the darn thing. That's what I'm thinking. Just get rid of it. What's the point in having it anymore? There is no point in having it. It's a glorified exhibition that's trying to be the Ryder Cup, but it's really not. Yeah. It's really not the Ryder Cup. Make the Ryder Cup every 2 years, and get rid of the President's Cup, or give the President's Cup something more.
Well, the 2-day idea, it would be a good idea as well. Yeah. We saw a pretty close competition, especially the first day. The first day was a good day of golf.
Yeah, it was.
But as the days move on, the USA started to take away. So a 2-day competition could be better for it, but I agree. In the current format, it's very easy for the U.S. to win, and it's not much competition.
And the thing is, too, it makes you itch for the Ryder Cup more. When you take the Ryder Cup away for 2 years, or every other year, it makes you itch for it. And I think that's what they just need to do, is just get rid of the President's Cup and just make you itch for the Ryder Cup. And that's what's going to make it more exciting, because everyone's going to be like, oh, wow, here's the Ryder Cup this year in 2017 and every other year after that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so I think
exactly.
that's what they need to do.
Yeah, more like the World Cup, where we see it and then it's gone for 4 years.
One of the guys who was a key cog in the U.S.'s attack on the international team was Justin Thomas, who, by the way, won Player of the Year this week. So we congratulate Justin. He had a cool moment with Jack Nicklaus after his 5 wins this year, including 1 major. And like I said, he was a key cog in that U.S. defeating the international team. So, Chad, what do you have to take away from Justin Thomas?
It's been a great year, and it's something that we almost could see coming because of the friend group established by Justin and Ricky and
Smiley Kaufman,
Smiley Kaufman and Jordan Spieth.
Right.
It's those 4. They go on vacation every year together now. I think that's the 2nd year in a row they've done that.
Spring breakers, right?
Yeah. Spring breakers. It's a fun time. But beyond that, they play together. They're friends. When Michael's winning the tournament, like they're all there to congratulate him. They're Snapchatting it while they're already done.
Right.
But, it seems to be like when he wins a tournament, they didn't play well.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird.
You're right.
A little weird.
Yeah, you would think.
But they love it. They love when he plays well, and they love when each other play well. So it's great for the game of golf because with Tiger and what happened in his life, we really didn't know what direction golf was going to go in, and now that we not only have 1, but we have 4 active players in the community, and they're all Snapchatting the events, and everyone gets to see what they're doing, which is really cool. And beyond that, they're 4 of the better players in golf right now. So
you're right.
I mean, aside from Matsuyama and Rory.
And Dustin
Johnson. But
those guys are older, though. That's the problem, is that they're older and that we got this young group of kids. It's basically the Tiger effect, where all these kids watched Tiger growing up. I mean, Rory watched Tiger. Rory's probably the president of Tiger Woods' fan club right now. But all these kids grew up watching Tiger. I mean, even Justin Thomas talked about how he watched Tiger at the 2000 PGA. So to have all these guys come up and see them have so much success because of Tiger Woods, Tiger's already indirectly help the game. He's already indirectly helped the game in that regard. He doesn't need to do any more. Rory said it best the other day. He doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. Kind of going back to our Tiger talk earlier, is that if I'm buying golf equipment this week, I'm not going to go to Bridgestone because I don't care if Tiger's supported by Bridgestone. I don't give a rip about that. I would buy Under Armour because of Jordan Spieth. I'd buy Nike because of Rory. I'd buy Titleist because all 4 of the new guys rock Titleist balls. There's no reason to buy anything Tiger Woods. That's what makes them so special, is that they connect with the fans. They rep their endorsements well, better than Tiger does now. Right. That's why they're so popular these days. And I agree. I think Justin Thomas is one of the new kids on the scene. Yeah. I think that he becomes one of the superstars. I think Jordan Spieth should feel a little bit threatened right now by his friend in an indirect way.
Well, possibly, but Jordan Spieth has that Tiger-like, end of tournament magic, if you will.
Yeah, he does.
He had 2 sand shots this year to win tournaments. That's unbelievable.
He's got ice in his veins.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's if you are trailing Spieth on the last day, aside from a mishap that he's had in a couple majors, it's very tough to play against him on that last day. And I mean, even when you're up on him, it's like he's right there, and he's the best player in golf. He's one of the best players in golf. So.
If you went back, he was actually top 10 in all. I think since 2015, he's been in the top 10 of the last all the majors since then. Okay. Besides the PGA. So if you look at that, I mean that proves your point. Is every final day he's always in there with that final grouping. I like to compare this to Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Arnold Palmer back in the day. Like, you kind of got the fun guy. Ricky is like Arnold Palmer. Everyone loves him. Jack Nicklaus is Jordan Spieth of today. He's got that icy fire in his veins. He doesn't really have that that charisma about him, unless you saw him in that press conference where he's like, ooh, shaking that ass, like that stuff right there. Like he was literally in the press conference saying that. You all look that up. You all look that up.
No, he's right. He's right.
But then, so he's Jack Nicholson, and I don't know who Gary Player would be. I guess that would be Rory because he works out a ton. So like that sort of thing. Like it's fun to compare the golden ages of golf, and I think we're entering a new and improved golden age of golf, which is really fun to watch.
And you're right. It's awesome to compare, and a clip that I've been seeing recently is Tiger and Phil at a tournament.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it. It's like and it's a woman announcer, and she's going through everything that Tiger had won up to that point. Basically, I mean, it seemed like everything he's won.
Yeah.
And Phil just cuts her off, and they're young at this age. They're not old. They're young, and Phil just cuts her off. He's like, "We get it." It made everyone laugh. It's like that's the kind of bond that I see. These four are getting into. It's like they're gonna be competitive when they're playing golf, right? I mean, we understand that. That's how any game goes. It's like you have your friends, but when you're on the field of play, you're competitive, right?
Yeah.
So they're competitive when they're playing, but outside of that, they're really good friends, and I think it's great for the game of golf.
No, it really is. It really is. Well, all right, guys, that wraps it up for this week of Tour Talk presented by Click On Media. Check us out next week on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and check us out on clickon.co for all the latest in golf and sports news around the world.